It's the Tuesday Newsday, the best day of the week, here to wipe the stench of Monday from all of our bodies. I'm your host, Andrew, and this is Crypto Espresso, your teeny tiny daily shot of caffeinated crypto headlines, and here we go. First up, stablecoin issuer Tether has joined a green energy project in El Salvador that aims to invest $1 billion in building a 241 megawatt generation park called Volcano Energy in Metapan. The project will combine solar and wind power sources within the volcanic region of the country to create one of the largest Bitcoin mining farms in the world. The farm will have an initial computing power of more than 1 quintillion calculations per second. The project is part of El Salvador's efforts to become a global leader in renewable energy production and Bitcoin adoption. Tether said that it's excited to be among the first investors and advisors in the project, and to support El Salvador's vision of innovation and sustainability. Volcano Energy is also a response to the criticism that Bitcoin mining is wasteful and harmful to the environment. According to Tether, more than half of Bitcoin mining is done using renewable energy sources, and this percentage will increase significantly in the future through investments like this. According to a research report by JP Morgan, retail demand for Bitcoin is expected to remain strong in the lead up to the next halving event scheduled for April of 2024. The report attributes the recent increase in retail demand partially to the introduction of Bitcoin ordinals and BRC-20 token standards. The upcoming halving, which will cut mining rewards by 50%, is predicted to double the production cost of Bitcoin to approximately $40,000, creating a positive psychological effect. JP Morgan analysts noted that historically the production cost has served as a lower boundary for the cryptocurrency's price, and previous halving events in 2016 and 2020 were followed by a bullish trajectory in Bitcoin prices. While institutional demand for Bitcoin has declined due to concerns over fraud, heightened volatility, and regulatory uncertainties, retail investors continue to view Bitcoin as an attractive investment option. JP Morgan previously highlighted the rally of both gold and Bitcoin following the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank, with institutional investors favoring gold as a hedge against catastrophic scenarios, while retail investors just turned to Bitcoin. Reginald Fowler, a former minority owner of the Minnesota Vikings NFL team, has been sentenced to over 6 years in prison, ordered to forfeit $740 million and pay $53 million in restitution after admitting his involvement in a crypto scam. Fowler pleaded guilty to charges including wire fraud, bank fraud, and conspiracy to operate an unlicensed money-transmitting business. Prosecutors accused him of helping cryptocurrency exchanges evade money laundering regulations by falsely claiming that bank accounts were for real estate transactions when they were actually just being used for crypto-related activities. Fowler, who expressed remorse in court, had requested home detention and community service instead of prison time. The request was denied. Fowler's sentencing came after his involvement with the Minnesota Vikings, where he had tried to purchase the team in 2005. However, due to financial constraints, he settled for a minority stake before parting ways with the organization in 2014. Despite recent information suggesting potential flight risks, the judge ruled that Fowler could report to prison in 21 days, which allows him time to finalize personal matters and find someone to care for his puppy. Aw, his little doggy dog. The collapse of FTX, a crypto exchange, back in November of 2022, has led to a series of refund requests from its debtors. Among them is the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City, which has agreed to return $550,000 that it received from FTX just before its bankruptcy. The Met filed its intention to the United States Bankruptcy Court in Delaware on June 2, 2023, where FTX also initiated its bankruptcy proceedings. FTX had donated a total of $93 million to various politicians and organizations between March 2020 and November 2022, according to court documents. However, only 19 out of 180 or so US politicians who received FTX's funds have returned them or indicated their willingness to do so, as per data from Unusual Whales. And finally, the Podgorica District Court in Montenegro has dismissed an appeal by the state prosecutor's office against the bail of Do Kwon, the co-founder of Terraform Labs, and his former CFO, Han Chang-jun. The two crypto executives are accused of using fake passports to try to leave the country after being wanted by South Korean and US authorities for their role in the Terra collapse. The court upheld the bail terms set on May the 12th, which required Do Kwon and Han Chang-jun to pay $436,000 each and remain under house arrest at Chang-jun's apartment in Montenegro. The local police will monitor their movements and confiscate their bail if they violate the supervision measures. The court also stated that it needs more time to verify the authenticity of the Belgian passports and identity cards held by Kwon and Chang-jun. The pair is facing fraud charges in South Korea and the US for allegedly manipulating the Terra USD algorithmic stablecoin, which caused a market crash for $40 billion back in June of 2021. Also, Interpol issued a red notice for Do Kwon's arrest. Can't forget that. And here's a notice that's the color of, well, it's colorless. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and click on that little bell icon to get buzzed whenever a new Crypto Espresso video goes live. Thoughts on today's episode? Drop me a line in that comment section below because I read those comments, you know it, and I take them far too seriously. Questions about our headlines or crypto in general? Why not take that plunge and ask Alex in the description below? Alex is always a great resource for all things Web3 and the metaverse, and that about does it for today. As always, I've been your host, Andrew. These have been your headlines, and we'll see all of your beautiful, shining faces tomorrow.